What's up, millennials? Polkadot has a few catalysts coming up that could lead to this altcoin going up in the next couple of weeks. In exchange for your valuable time, we're going to talk about these catalysts, and we're also going to take a look at what the technical analysis is suggesting right now. So let's do it. First, let's take a look at coinmarketcap.com, where we can see the market caps of all the altcoins and all the cryptocurrencies out there. And currently Polkadot is on position number 8. It has a market cap of $38 billion right now. Funny thing is that if you go to Dogecoin, which is on position number 4 right now, it has a market cap of $79 billion. So that's going to be interesting to see what that is going to do in the next couple of days. So with regards to Ethereum, we can see that Ethereum currently has a market cap of almost 400 billion. And then if you take into account that Polkadot could become an enemy or at least a competitor to the Ethereum network, then you can imagine that there is quite a lot of upside to go if Polkadot is actually going to work out. Now, do keep in mind that the Polkadot network isn't a fully fledged blockchain project just yet, just like Ethereum is right now. But I do think that there are going to be these parachains installed or put on the Polkadot network this year likely. So yeah, Polkadot right now is definitely more a bet on Gavin Wood, the team, the project itself, of course, because right now I do think that there is still a lot of upside potential going on for Polkadot in the next coming years, potentially. Also keep in mind that Polkadot is going to host an event later on in a few weeks' time, I believe, on May 19th until May 20th, so 2 days, of course, and that is definitely the biggest Polkadot event of the year. So that is going to be very exciting to see. You can actually go to decoded.polkadot.net and then you can find out more information about this event. You can also check out the program over here, so you can see all the notes, all the keynotes, speakers that are going to talk during this event. And of course, Gavin Wood is also going to have a nice little barstool chat. Something else that could lead to more adoption, or at least more people using Polkadot, or at least using the DOT token, of course, is this fact that Ledger right now is supporting a minimum staking of Polkadot of just one DOT token. That was like 287 or something like that just a few weeks ago. But right now we can see, if we go to the Polkadot website, we can see that the minimum amount of staking, or the minimum amount of tokens that you need to get rewards for staking your Polkadot, is actually 0 right now, but I believe on Ledger it still is 1. So yeah, definitely a big decrease, of course, from about 287 minimum DOT tokens needed to just 1 DOT token needed. So as I've said, this can definitely lead to more people using Polkadot, or at least the token, to get these staking rewards in return, because right now the returns are 13.9%, which is definitely a beautiful amount of money. And just a little side note here, because if you want more information about the project of Polkadot, if you want updates, daily updates, then definitely check out this guy on Twitter, Bill Laboon. He always tweets about Polkadot, and he releases these daily updates. Let's see if we can find him over here. For example, he has these Polkadot digests every single day. He talks about the major updates, major important updates for the Polkadot project. Then let's take a look at the chart, at some technical analysis, and let's first talk a little bit about the support and resistance on the Polkadot chart right now. So we can see right now we are on the daily chart, so every little candlestick, every vertical bar you see is 1 day of price action. And let's first talk about support and resistance. So as we can see, we actually broke above this blue box of resistance. This has been resistance for quite a long time. Over here in February 2021, it was resistance right here too, right here too, right here too. Then it actually broke above that. It started to use that resistance as support instead, because often when resistance is broken, then it turns into support later on. Then it broke back below, and now we are back above it. So let's see if we can now maintain above that level of this blue box over here. I wouldn't mind seeing the price action going down a little bit within that blue box of like $38.50, more or less, $39. That would definitely be good for my opinion, in my opinion. And then I wouldn't mind seeing this go back to the previous all-time high to see if we can actually break above that resistance of the previous all-time high, which right now is sitting at around $45. Also, if we turn on the volume profile, we can see that a lot of price action is consolidated in this region between more or less $34 on the low end and $38 on the high end. So I definitely think that is going to be acting as a pretty good support level. If we do break below this blue box of resistance or of support, of course, then I do think this price action is going to be held up relatively well, because I do think a lot of people will be buyers in that region. So yes, I do like that, and I also like the fact that we don't have any price action going on over here. So if we do manage to get new all-time highs, I definitely can imagine this ripping to the upside. Let's also talk a little bit about the 55 exponential moving average, because that one often is used as support as well. We can see over here, for example, back in the end of March of this year, 2021, it was used as major support level. Then it went all the way back up, and then it went back down. It did go way below that 55 EMA, that 55 exponential moving average, but quickly got back up. And right now, a few days ago, actually on the 4th and 5th of March, we did use it again as support. So let's see if we can now hold above that 55 EMA instead. And also if we take a look at the 21 exponential moving average versus the 55 exponential moving average, and let's just take a look at those two. We're going to get rid of the other EMAs for now. We can see that the 21 EMA has always stayed above the 55 EMA, and right now it seems like the 21 EMA wants to stay above that 55 EMA. It wants to be used as support. So right now I kind of like that, and I like that it is seemingly bouncing off that 55 EMA, and now we see more divergence between the 55 and the 21 EMA. So I like that. Then if we take a look at some of the indicators, we can see that we potentially are looking at a so-called bullish reset. What that means is that price action basically goes sideways for a long period of time. It is just consolidating in this region as we have seen before. So right now it has been consolidating between like $30 on the low end, $45 on the high end. It has just been going sideways for a few months since the end of February. But meanwhile, if we go to the RSI, for example, we can see that the RSI has been coming down in that same period of time. So that is pretty good. That price action is going horizontal, it's going sideways, it's consolidating, whereas the indicator is going down. So now it is a little bit reset, if you will. And now it has more upside to go in the next coming weeks, hopefully. Also, you see that exact same thing happening with the MACD. So again, in that same period of time, while the price action was going horizontal, was going sideways, the MACD has been reset. It has been going down all the way to where we have been right now. And that was definitely the lowest point we have ever seen for Polkadot. So let's see if this is actually a major low on the Polkadot chart. And by the way, if you also want to learn how to read charts like me, then you can also check out nesami.com/TA. I recently launched a program about technical analysis. Now do keep in mind, this program is meant for absolute beginners. It's meant as a Kickstarter. In just a few hours, I'm going to teach you the most important lessons that I learned in 1 year. So in my opinion, I like the current setup. I like the bullish reset that has been happening in the last couple of months, where the price action has been going sideways and the indicators have come down quite significantly. And at the same time, I also like that we have a few catalysts coming up. We of course have seen the minimum amount of DOT tokens needed to get some staking rewards going down all the way to basically zero. And we are also going to see the Polkadot Decoded event coming up in a few weeks' time, which could act as a catalyst back to the upside. But do keep in mind, however, that Polkadot is still in its early phases. So right now it's basically a bet on the project, on the team. And right now it is not definitely a project with a lot of use cases at this very moment. And also keep in mind that technical analysis does not work in 100% of the cases, but I do think it's a very valuable tool to have in your toolbox. But it should be used accompanied with fundamental analysis. And of course, as always, I'm looking forward to your opinion too. Do you think that the Polkadot project is going to succeed in the future? Let me know in the comments. And with that being said, thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye!